When it comes to weight loss and diet, we always hear over and over again to cut down our sugar intake, especially in a keto diet. But what does sugar actually do to us in terms of weight? In this video, I will go over what sugar is, the dangers of empty calories, and what insulin resistance is. To start off, what are sugars anyways? Sugars are considered carbohydrates, a type of macronutrient that our body needs to survive. There are many types of sugars, such as fructose found in fruits, lactose found in dairy products, and sucrose found in table sugar, with many of them occurring naturally in foods. However, there are sugars referred to as added sugars that, well, don't occur naturally. We use added sugars as preservatives for foods and to sweeten foods and drinks. But it is also the unhealthy sugar that we all know and love to eat. Regardless of the sugars, they are broken down by our body into glucose as a form of energy delivered by our bloodstream. Once our body detects glucose in our bloodstream, our pancreas starts secreting insulin, a hormone that has two main functions. First, insulin transports glucose into our cells so the cells can use this energy source. And second, insulin stores excess glucose as glycogen, which acts as a sugar storage for when extra sugar is needed. However, if we ingest too much sugar, too much insulin will be produced and will eventually lead to insulin resistance in our cells. This means that the cells are less likely to pick up glucose by insulin, which leads to insulin storing more and more glucose away as glycogen. Unfortunately, most of our organs have a limit of how much glycogen can be stored there, and once the glycogen limit has been reached, insulin will store the excess glucose as fat instead. This excess of glucose with nowhere to go is what leads to the buildup of unhealthy fat in our bodies, especially around the belly area. Aside from building fat, added sugars are full of empty calories, which are essentially calories or energy that contain no nutritional value. For example, an apple may contain around the same amount of calories as a candy bar, but the apple is full of vitamin C and other healthy nutrients, while a candy bar doesn't contain any of it, despite filling it up for around the same amount as an apple. A study in 2010 found that around 40% of calories consumed by children from the ages of 2 to 18 are all empty calories, which are most commonly found in, you guessed it, sugary foods. Foods such as pop, candies, and cakes are notorious for those empty calories, along with alcohol, fast food, and much more. So why are empty calories such a big deal? Well, all of us have a daily recommended intake of calories, which is around 2,000 for females and 2,500 for males, biologically speaking. If we fill up those calories with empty calories, then we will have less calories available to make sure that our daily intake of essential nutrients is met. We will feel full despite not intaking any of the healthy nutrients we need to function. The dietary guidelines for Americans recommends at most 10% of our daily intake being added sugar, as we don't need added sugar at all to function properly. And there we have it. Sugar is a form of energy that we need to survive, but too much of it will lead to the buildup of fat in our bodies, as there is nowhere else to store the excess sugar. Furthermore, eating foods with lots of added sugars will make us full without giving us the proper nutrients, filling up our daily caloric intake without the essential nutrients we need to survive. I hope that y'all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for watching, and good luck with everything!